Dude, I've been a guitar fanatic pretty much all my life. I remember in 4th grade, I discovered Kiss Alive and Ace Frehley, and I was blown away. Then I discovered Angus Young, and maybe you've heard me tell the story of the first time that I saw AC/DC live in 1980 at Market Square Arena, and Angus stepped onto that stage and literally blew my mind. And then there were Dave Murray and Adrian Smith of Iron Maiden, and of course, the late, great Randy Rhoads. Oh my goodness, he blew my mind. Never saw him live, but he was just amazing. Each of those fretboard masters played a massive role in terms of inspiring me to become a musician and influencing the way that I play. When I turned the page and I gave my life to Jesus Christ in 1987 and I received him as my Lord and Savior, I said goodbye to that secular world and I dove hard and headlong into the world of Christian rock and metal. And since that day, I have discovered so many awesome Christian hard rock and metal guitar players who have influenced me and encouraged me and edified me and influenced me as a musician. So in this video, I'm excited to share with you 10 of my favorite Christian hard rock and metal guitar players from the 1980s and 1990s, plus some really killer honorable mentions. Rocking you up for Jesus Christ with classic style hard rock music and practical Bible teaching. In absolutely no particular order, here we go. Rex Carroll. Rex, as you know, is the virtuoso guitar player for the iconic band Whitecross, known for his lightning-fast solos and melodic riffs. His technical proficiency and melodic playing helped to shape the sound of Christian metal in the late 1980s and 1990s. I've been blessed to see Rex and Whitecross play many times live. Just a little while back, just right down the road from my home here in Cookeville, Rex made an appearance on the Petra 50th anniversary tour. He was just there by himself playing with the opening band, and he made an offer that he would be out at the table if anyone would like to meet him. So I, of course, went out there and met Rex and got my picture with him. Then I bought a shirt, and he was gracious enough to sign it. I just thought this was cool, and hey man, what can I say? I'm a fan, right? So I got to share that with you. Rex is a gracious, sincere brother in the Lord, and he's just a monster guitar player. David Zaffiro. Initially and probably predominantly, he's known by many of us as the guitar player for Bloodgood. But he also pursued a solo career where he got to feature his musical versatility and depth. If you enjoy great guitar albums, look up David Zaffiro's solo album. It's the one that has the song I See Red on it. And just listen through. It's incredible. If I just blindly walked into a room and I didn't know that it was David Zaffiro's album that was playing, I would very easily just assume it was Joe Satriani. He's just that melodic and clean and skilled and musical. I was blessed to see David Zaffiro perform live with Bloodgood in the late 1980s. It was incredible. I had to put these guys together, Michael Sweet and Oz Fox. We of course know these guys as the dynamic duo of guitarists in STRYPER, a band that brought Christian hard rock and melodic metal into the mainstream. They are known together for their harmonized solos and powerful stage presence. They are, of course, undeniably, majorly responsible for STRYPER's sound and their influence in the music world. These guys are both just stellar players, and I think way beyond their playing, I have just appreciated their pioneering spirit. Mr. Ken Tamplin. Ken is known for his work with the band SHOUT, and of course his prolific solo career, but he's also celebrated for his powerful vocals. His abilities to craft a memorable hook and his passionate live performances have set him apart as one of the greats. I was so blessed back in 2010 to connect with Ken Tamplin through Jeff Garner, who's another monster guitar player, friend of mine, has played on many of my projects. Jeff lives out in California, relatively close to Ken, and had rubbed shoulders and kind of gotten to know him doing some studio work out there. I was recording the album Breakout, and somewhere or another, I forget exactly how, Jeff said, "Hey man, I bet you Ken would love to sing on your album." I'm like, oh my goodness, that'd be awesome. So I got his number. I called him, I talked to him, he was incredibly gracious. And he recorded not one, but like multiple tracks for my song Turn Up the Light. He's an incredible talent and a gracious man. And by the way, as I'm recording this, I haven't seen him live yet, but I am so looking forward to going to Immortal Fest and seeing him with his band Shout. This is going to be awesome. Bruce Swift. As the guitarist for the iconic Christian metal band Sacred Warrior, Bruce was known for his intricate and progressive metal guitar style. His technical prowess and creative compositions helped to set Sacred Warrior apart in the Christian metal genre. I was so blessed to see Sacred Warrior just last year at Immortal Fest 2023. And Lord willing, they're going to be there this year, 2024 as well. And just love this band, man. Have enjoyed their albums over the years. They have blessed me so much. Bruce Swift, a monster guitar player. D. Harrington. D is best known for his guitar playing with the band Saint, particularly on their acclaimed release, Too Late for Living. His aggressive playing style and classic metal influences were key elements of Saint's signature sound. I was so blessed back in around 2006 to connect with Richard Lynch and D. Harrington. Talked to both of them on the phone quite a bit during this season of time, as they both graciously and enthusiastically contributed many tracks to my 2006 instrumental shred album, Reshredded. He was such a great guy, man, and the playing that he laid on that album, I'll just never forget it. He's a monster player, and he's just had such an encouraging impact on my life and my music, and man, I just appreciate him so much. Mr. D. Harrington. Glenn Kaiser. Glenn is a big part of my world for very different reasons. I love his playing. It's bluesy, it's soulful, it's aggressive, it's gritty.
He said that he had your number.
But Glenn and Resurrection Band came into my world before I was a Christian. I was kind of raised in the church, right? I was kind of out there on the periphery. I hadn't surrendered my life to Jesus, but I always knew Jesus was Lord. I just hadn't surrendered to him. And so at different seasons, I would dip my toe in and say, is there any good Christian rock out there, right? And I just couldn't find any. But I discovered the Colors album, specifically the song City Streets. I love that riff. And so God used Glenn in that moment. It would have been around 82, 83, about 5 years before I really surrendered to Christ, to plant some serious seeds in my heart. And Glenn's guitar playing and sound and attitude were part of that journey. Glenn and Rez Band's contribution to Christian hard rock is just, it's undeniable. His bluesy style is just epic. There was no way I could create a top 10 list and keep him off of it, man. Glenn Kaiser. Phil Keaggy. Oh my goodness, he's a monster player. He isn't often associated with hard rock or metal, but he's got some songs that really jam, and his skill and talent from God is undeniable. If you're a player, put on a Phil Keaggy album, regardless of the style of music. You'll be overwhelmed with an appreciation for this man's ability to make music come out of a guitar. I was blessed to see Phil once. He opened up for Twyla Paris in Chattanooga. Okay, this was like back in the early 90s. It was just him and an acoustic guitar. And this is one of those times when you didn't want a band. You just wanted to hear the man play. It was phenomenal. John Mahan. There's no way I can talk about my favorite guitar players and not mention the man who laid the tracks on one of my most favorite albums of all time, Saints' Time's End. Saints had a number of guitar players. I mentioned D. Harrington earlier. John was the architect of the guitar sound on that album, Time's End. That is one of the very first Christian metal albums that I purchased, and it catapulted me into the world of Christian metal, man. It inspired and encouraged me so much the summer of 1987. Just go back and listen to that album, man. The guitar playing is amazing.